A little girl pushes her TV and breaks it. The maid sees this and becomes very surprised. She tries to stop the girl, but the girl keeps pushing the TV with her feet. Hearing the noise, the girl's mother comes and says, "Oh my God, sweetheart, are you okay? What was that noise?" When she sees the broken TV, she asks, "Who did this?" The little girl says, "Mom, I saw it. It was the maid. She pushed the TV on purpose." The mother angrily asks the maid, "What? Why did you do that?" The maid gets scared and says, "No, ma'am, I didn't do it." But the mother does not believe her and says angrily, "You are fired." The maid starts crying and says, "No, ma'am, please don't fire me." Just then, the girl's father comes and asks, "What is happening here?" He looks at the TV and asks, "Who did this?" His wife says, "Dear, it was the maid who broke the TV. Last week, she broke my laptop. Yesterday, she broke our daughter's tablet. She is very careless. Fire her." The maid says, "No, sir, I didn't do it. I swear it was the girl." The wife says, "Don't lie. The girl saw you." The man says, "No, we can't fire her, but everything that is broken must be paid for. The money will be cut from your next salary." The maid cries and says, "No, sir, please don't do this." But the man says, "Come with me. I will show you how much money will be cut from your salary." He takes the maid with him and leaves. The little girl angrily says to herself, "I will not let her go like this." She ties a thread across the hallway. When the maid walks there, her foot gets caught in the thread and she falls down. The maid cries and says, "Why did you do this?" The little girl angrily says, "I am tired of you. I will try my best to make my parents fire you." At that moment, the girl's mother comes and helps the maid. She asks, "Are you okay?" The maid says, "It's your daughter's fault. She set a trap for me." The mother angrily asks, "What? Is that true?" The little girl says, "No, she is lying. She fell by herself." The maid angrily says, "That's not true. Look, I fell because of this." The mother asks her daughter, "Did you do this?" The girl angrily says, "I said I didn't do it." Then she leaves angrily. The mother says to the maid, "I am sorry for my daughter. I don't know what is happening to her. I believe the TV incident was also her fault. Don't worry, I will talk to my husband, so your salary will not be cut." The next day, the little girl sees the maid and her father doing something strange. She becomes angry and throws a bucket of trash on the maid. The father angrily says, "What did you just do?" At that moment, the girl's mother also arrives. The girl says, "I don't like her. She is a homebreaker." The mother says in surprise, "What? A homebreaker?" The girl says, "I have proof." She shows a video to her mother. Earlier, when her father took the maid into his room, the girl secretly placed her mobile phone inside a teddy bear near the room and recorded everything. In the video, the maid says, "I swear it was your daughter. I think she is starting to suspect our relationship." The man says, "Do you really think so?" The maid says, "It doesn't matter. I just want you to send your wife and daughter away, so only you and I can live here." The man says, "Yes, my love, but first I must convince Kelly to transfer this house and car to my name. After we separate, everything will belong to us." After watching this, the wife angrily says to her husband, "Now I understand why you didn't want to fire this woman, because she is your lover." The husband says, "No, listen to me." But the wife angrily says, "I don't want to hear anything. Luckily, this house is still in my name. You and your lover get out of my house right now." She pushes her husband and his lover out of the house and thanks her daughter.